Hi, I'm Ryan from Extreme Terrain, and today I'm here with the Barricade Extreme HD front bumper for your 2018 Up Wrangler JL. This is going to be for anyone looking to change up their appearance and add some functionality to their JL with a winch-compatible bumper without breaking the bank, and prefers a full width over a stubby. This is a heavy-duty bumper with a 2-stage powder coat, which is going to hold up really well to trail rash and the elements. This is going to be one of your most affordable options on the site at around $400, and I think it's pretty reasonable for what you're getting. As far as install goes, I'm going to give this a 1 out of 3 wrenches, since you can install this in under an hour using simple hand tools. With that being said, let's hop into the install. So to begin this installation, we're going to need to remove our factory bumper. We're going to begin with the air dam underneath. There's a series of pop clips that we'll have to use a screwdriver or a trim panel removal tool, and there's 2 screws that we're going to use an 8mm socket for. All right, so we have 8 of these push pins all the way across the bottom. We're going to just take and pop the center out, and that's going to release that clip. So once you get the last screw out of the bottom, you're ready to pull the whole shield off. So next we're going to take off this metal shield using a 16mm socket. You're going to have 1 bolt on either side. After you get those bolts off, you can lift this up and it'll slide right off. So next we're going to unplug our fog light harness. It's located here on the passenger side frame rail. We're just going to press this tab in. And then we can disconnect our plug. So after we have our fog light harness unplugged, you're ready to remove the 4 nuts on both ends of the frame rail. We're going to use an 18mm socket to do this. So the last thing to disconnect before we pull our bumper off, there's going to be 2 push pins, 1 on either side on the top of the frame rail. We'll need to pop those out with a screwdriver, and then we can pull our bumper. With everything disconnected, you can remove your stock bumper. So we're just about ready to install our new Barricade bumper. However, since I have both of these next to each other, I just want to do a little comparison and go over some of the new features. Now the first thing is it will accept the factory fog lights. However, it will only accept the LEDs. The stock halogens have a different housing, so they won't fit. The next thing is it's going to add D-rings and a winch plate to it. You can run up to a 1,200-pound winch, which is a very nice feature. It is a little shorter in width than the stock, and it's going to give you a better approach angle and clear up some of that wheel space. The next thing is you have the ability to mount auxiliary lights up top on this hoop, so that's going to be great for nighttime driving. Another nice feature is that it has this grill guard built into it, so while you're off-roading, it's going to push brush and such out of the way, which is going to protect your new investment. This is made of heavy-duty 3/16" steel, so it's going to add a good amount of strength to the front end, which is going to be very beneficial. With that being said, let's get this installed and see how it looks. So since our factory bumper has LED fog lights, we're going to switch them over to our Barricade bumper. We're going to have to take these plastic covers off of the end, so you're going to have 6 of these push pins. You can use a flathead screwdriver, just pop up the center, and this cover will come off. So now we're going to disconnect our fog light, and then we're going to remove these 4 screws using a 7mm socket. So we're just going to push down on this clip and unplug that, and then we can take these screws in. So we're going to do the same thing for the other side, starting with these clips. Plug our light, use that same 7mm to remove the 4 screws. So if you are planning on using your LED fog lights, you'll not only need to remove the fog lights, you'll need to get the harness out of the bumper. Now to do that, we're going to have to take this cover off, and then we'll have to split the bumper apart to get the harness out. So the first thing we're going to start is we're going to remove all these push pins out of this front section. So now that we have that frame cover off, that's going to expose these top bolts. So we're going to go around and use a 7mm. We're going to have to remove all these top ones, and then all these bottom sections we'll be able to split the bumper apart. all the screws out, we can separate the two halves. You're gonna have to finagle these hooks out of there. After you get those two sections apart, we're just gonna pop this harness out. So we're ready to install our fog lights. Barricade provides us with new hardware, so we're gonna push in these plastic clips, and then we're gonna use the Phillips head screws that they provide us with to screw the fog lights in. So after that, we're ready to place our lights in, and then we can install our new screws. We're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Install our light. And then use a Phillips head screwdriver to install our screws. Then you can route your wiring harness, zip tie it in place, and plug it back into your fog lights. So now that we have our bumper assembled with our fog lights, we're ready to install it and get our hardware on. So now that our bumper's on, we're gonna use the provided hardware. We're gonna place a flat washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. Do the same thing for the inside of the frame rail. Washer, lock washer, and the supplied nut. After everything's on, you're gonna go around and tighten it up with an 18 millimeter. So the last step is to install those provided D-rings. Just gonna unscrew the pin from those, place them over, screw the pin back in. Same thing goes for the other side. And to tighten these pins up, to make sure that they don't fall off, you can use a screwdriver through that hole or a pair of channel locks to tighten them. So that wraps up my review and install. For more videos like this, check us out at extremeterrain.com.